bitcoins, he could have been the owner of the island in Florida today. So the next is blockchain. So bitcoins and various other decentralized cryptocurrencies are based on a revolutionary technology invented by cryptographers Scott Stornetta and Stuart Haber in 1991, known as blockchain. So a blockchain collects information together. So the information and the data can be the sender, the receiver of the transaction, the bitcoins, the cryptocurrencies, the fee paid on the transaction, and the amount of the transaction. So all this data needs to be recorded in a block. Okay, and this block holds the set of information, and so this uh, this blockchain is immutable, which means that the data entered is irreversible. The data entered cannot be tampered or manipulated by anyone. If anyone tampers it or tries to manipulate it, the entire blockchain gets corrupt. uh, so through this picture, through this slide, I would like to explain you how actually does a transaction gets into the blockchain. So like the first step is a transaction is requested. So for example, I received 5 bitcoins from person A. Okay, so the information like the sender's detail, so receiver's detail, the sender's detail, the amount of money that we have transacted, the fee paid on it is actually recorded in a block. So this block represents the transaction created. Then the block is sent to every node. So वो जो block होता है जिसमें सारी transactions होती है, वो हर एक participant जो computers होते हैं, जिनके पास computers होते हैं and जो miners होते हैं, उनको send की जाती है. So the data in the block needs to be authenticated and approved by someone. So ये जो transaction, the process of approving and authenticating the transaction is known as proof of work. So if proof of work में क्या होता है कि जो the participants who own the computer or the nodes are supposed to solve a complex mathematical problem, and whosoever solves that problem first is rewarded with a few amount of bitcoins and other cryptocurrencies. Okay, so this process of solving a mathematical problem is known as mining, and the person who solves the person who solves the mathematical problem is the miner. So once the proof of work is done, उसके बाद जो block होता है, जो data after being authenticated and approved, so the block is added into the existing blockchain जो chronology से चलती आ रही है, and then जो updated network है वो distribute हो जाता है, and hence the transaction gets completed. So I hope I am clear till now. Any questions?
Yeah, Ananya, I have a question. Hi, this is Sagar. So Ananya, very well explained, but मुझे नहीं समझ आया थोड़ा सा. So I just want to request to repeat that part. When you say a block representing that transaction is created, I got it. But when you say the block is sent to every node, what do you mean by that? Like किसको भेजा जाता है वो?
So
then why this has been done? Yeah.
So just like auditors होते हैं, auditors को पूरी balance sheet और transactions को review करना होता है. So वैसे ही miners होते हैं, उन्हें auditors को money pay किया जाता है miners को in the form of reward to solve that transaction, to legitimize the transactions, the information stored in the block, उन्हें pay किया जाता है in form of bitcoins. So जो miners होते हैं वो basically auditors होते हैं ये blockchain में.
Got it. तो मेरा क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे ये आता है फिर कि क्या वो इमीडिएटली होता है ये प्रोसेस? लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल आई एम डूइंग अ ट्रांजैक्शन, मैंने क्रिप्टो करेंसी खरीदी, मैंने अमाउंट पे किया, तो क्या ये इमीडिएटली वो माइनिंग करते हैं उसकी? बिकॉज हम तो इमीडिएटली ट्रांजैक्शन कर लेते हैं और हमारे पास बिटकॉइंस आ जाते हैं क्रिप्टो. सो दैट इज आई वांट टू आस्क कि वो इमीडिएटली कर पाते हैं माइनिंग इतनी फास्टली, वो सॉल्व कर पाते हैं?
वो डिपेंड करता है पर्सन, मतलब हाँ वो ट्रांजैक्शन कंप्लीट हो जाती है, बट वो जो जब डेटा रजिस्टर होता है तो जैसे आप बैंक में जाते हैं, आप लाइक इमीडिएटली सब कुछ स्टोर नहीं कर पाते ना, वो जब आप जाते हो वो पूरा अपडेट करते रहते हैं डेटा, तो ट्रांजैक्शन एक बार रिकॉर्ड हो जाता है, ब्लॉक क्रिएट हो जाता है। एंड मैंने पढ़ा था कहीं कि जो बिटकॉइन की जो माइनिंग करने में, वो मैथमेटिकल प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने में इट टेक्स अराउंड 10 to 15 minutes, सो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन माइनर टू माइनर। एंड जो पहले कर लेता है तो फिर उनको बिटकॉइन एज रिवॉर्ड मिल जाते हैं। तो माइनिंग बेसिकली एक तो होता है वो उनको बिटकॉइंस मिलते हैं, प्लस वो और जो बिटकॉइंस है ना वो जनरेट भी करते हैं। तो ये पूरा ये वही प्रोसेस है।
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
अब स्पीड देख।
I've tried to plot the events or the major events of cryptocurrency, like what has happened in the past, uh, on the Bitcoin chart. So मतलब जो भी so I've tried to explain the journey of cryptocurrency by plotting the significant events जो भी cryptocurrency bubble था, market crash था, on the Bitcoin daily chart. So the first one is cryptocurrency bubble 2017. Just a second. So we can see that within a span of hardly 3 to 4 months, it has given 323, around approx 400% return, 336% return to the investors. So what were the reasons behind it? So there wasn't just a single reason. So there were multiple reasons that contributed to the crypto bubble. So the first one is surge and ransomware. So around 2017, the entire world was facing surge and ransomware, where important data of several huge corporates were hacked and payments in bitcoins were demanded as a so in for the exchange as a ransomware. So it was because that bitcoins can't be tracked easily. Plus, the bitcoins can be converted into cash from exchange in the world. So what the hackers did was कि वो जो bitcoins थे वो distribute कर देते थे into various wallets and locations, so that they can't get tracked easily by the government officials. So this was the first. So this was the one of the reasons. So second was recognition by government. So around 2017, Japanese government recognized cryptocurrency. So in September 2017, 11 deemed to be crypto exchanges were given license. Okay, and बाकी जो 21 deemed to be crypto exchanges थे, जिनमें से 11 were licensed, 10 were in process. So recognition from the one of the largest economy in Asia led to the increase in price of Bitcoin. So the third one was illegal trade. So criminals dealing in arms and drugs have been using bitcoins because it can be tracked easily. Secondly, they can be converted into cash. They cannot be tracked by government officials, and they can be converted into cash easily from any exchange in the world. So the fourth one is FOMO amongst the investors. So FOMO is fear of missing out. So in 2017, bull market had all signs of classic financial bubble, and retail investors like us, were buying in fear of missing out. So like bitcoins काफी limited है, like around 21 million bitcoins available है, and already 18.5 million of bitcoins are in circulation. So supply ज़्यादा है, demand कम है. That's why, or plus they were getting huge returns from it. तो वैसे जैसे आज लोग हैं जो पीछे भागते जाते हैं ना क्रिप्टो करेंसी के पीछे, ये बहुत बढ़ रहा है, तो तब भी बेसिकली ये था. And जो institutional investors थे, they were mainly betting against the bitcoins. So ये mainly basically the reason था behind the cryptocurrency bubble. So the next was crypto market crash 2018. After December Feb 17 तक ये पूरा bubble था, and then it started declining. So the MVIS Crypto Compare Digital Assets 10 Index. So it is the so it is an index that tracks top 10 largest performing digital assets and the highly liquid assets. So had lost 80% of its value, making the decline in cryptocurrency market. And you can see that the Bitcoin itself so the Bitcoin itself plunged around 72% within a span of 2 to 3 months. So the reasons behind it were regulatory uncertainties have been the main cause of crypto crash. Second was the China banned ICO and crypto exchanges in early 2018. So ICO is initial coin offering. It is somewhat similar to like IPO, initial public offering, which is issued by companies. But the major difference is that uh, the company in the case of IPO, the company has already been established, and they want to raise more funds, so they give they give ownership to the investors in the form of shares. But in the case of ICO, so इसमें investors को starting में ownership नहीं मिलती, rather कि it is a method for teams to raise funds for a project in the cryptocurrency space. So like जो स्टार्टिंग का जो इनिशियल स्टेज होता है वो तब के टाइम में करते हैं फंड्स रेज, ताकि वो आगे प्रोजेक्ट को कंटिन्यू कर सके. सो दिस इज एन आईसीओ. तो चाइना ने बैन कर दिया था इन अर्ली 2018. द थर्ड वन इज दैट rumors थे कि South Korea could be preparing to ban trading in cryptocurrency. And the fourth one is that Goldman Sachs dropped crypto trading plans. So what happened that there were news or rumors that Goldman Sachs was going to provide online trading platform for cryptocurrencies. But then again, news में आया था कि Goldman Sachs को drop करना पड़ा, had dropped the idea of trading cryptocurrency. So these were the four main reasons behind the crypto market crash in 2018. So the next is crypto crash in 2020. So the COVID outbreak affected the global markets that drove the investors like us towards the safety of cash. So just a second. So in spite of coronavirus, it did plunge around 54%, but then it started rising again. And so the recent crash of 2020 can, because of COVID, shouldn't be seen as a crash, but should be seen as a temporary correction in the price of Bitcoins. So the next is cryptocurrency bubble in 2020. So three main reasons were institutional investors were now betting on Bitcoin, Tesla, and many other institutions were now betting big on Bitcoins. Okay. So secondly was because of coronavirus, the inflation was rising because of the various stimulus packages introduced by government. So because of the fear of macroeconomic instability, drove investors towards the new asset classes. Okay. And the third one was that Elon Musk tweeted that Tesla will start accepting Bitcoin as payment, and that they have invested around 1.5 billion of Bitcoins, 1.5 billion of money in Bitcoins. So around on 8th Feb 2021, Elon Musk tweeted this tweet, and we can see a huge one-day increase in the Bitcoin prices. And the second was the fifth one is the crypto market crash 2021 abhi jo recently chal raha. So basically दो reasons थे, because so the first one was on 12th May 2021, Elon Musk tweeted that Tesla would no longer be accepting Bitcoin as payments due to the environmental concerns. And the second was on 19th May. So the news was that China had banned financial institutions and payments companies from services related to cryptocurrency transactions. So basically, these were the two main reasons because for the downfall of the coin. और फिर से आज Elon Musk ने अभी like 1.5 hour पहले tweet किया है कि they are in favor of bitcoins and cryptocurrency, and it has seen a significant increase in the price. You can see that today. So in this, this is a graphical representation of how do different countries around the world approach. Sorry. So this is how do different countries around the world approach the cryptocurrencies, approach the crypto regulations. So the lighter ones are ones that where there is no stringent regulations and laws against for the cryptocurrencies, and the darker ones are where the crypto is either banned or there are very stringent rules and regulations. So the lighter ones can be seen as USA and Europe, and the darker ones are India and China. You guys can just have a look at it. Just tell me, I'll just change the slide once you are done. Sorry. Can I change it?
Hey Ananya, well spoken and well located. I just have one question. What is Government of India's stand on cryptocurrency?
I know who is speaking.
Sorry, my name is Priyatosh.
Yeah, hi. So they are a bit dicey about it. So RBI did appeal in the Supreme Court for the regulations to entirely ban the cryptocurrency, but then Supreme Court rejected their plea, and they said that they can't मतलब वो अलाउ नहीं कर सकते, ऐसे कोई रूल्स नहीं पास कर सकते कि कोई बिजनेस स्टार्ट नहीं कर सकता है इससे रिलेटेड. सो ये अभी भी इलीगल है इसका ट्रेड, बट देन इंडिया में तो सब इलीगली चलता ही है, तो लोग कर रहे हैं ट्रेड.
Okay, Ananya, if you allow me, I have an answer for this question.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, hi Priyatosh. Actually, I am a company secretary and I attend different, sessions going on cryptos and everything. So I have someone in known who is a company secretary of a trading company who does trading in cryptocurrencies. So they told us that RBI and other ministries are calling them in different intervals and asking about what kind of norms we should make to regulate this cryptocurrency. So India is a positive side pe ja raha hai. They have accepted and acknowledged it, and now they are under process. See, this information abhi ye validated nahi hai ya ye public mein nahi aayi hai, but ye information मैंने वो session attend किया था, वहां से मैंने gather करी है. That's why I'm delivering it to you, right? तो he told me that कि अभी इस पे regulations बन रहे हैं. Government of India उन्हें बार-बार बुलाती है because he knows so much about cryptocurrencies, and he is the company secretary of that company as well. I can't name the company. So he told me that. That's a certain kind of information I had. That's why I shared it with you. So India positive side पे देख रहा है इसको अभी, and they are ready to, make.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Your answer helps me a lot. I also. Yeah. Go on.
I can add something to it. So when we say India is looking at cryptocurrency favorably, that does not mean India is going to allow Bitcoin as another currency in India. India is going to stick to just one currency, that is going to be Indian rupee only. If they say we are going to allow and we'll have regulation around it, that means cryptocurrency will be used as a means of barter, as a token. You do something for me, I do something for you, because this is exactly how it works in Canada also. Canada does not recognize cryptocurrency as a currency. They are very clear that only Canadian dollar is the only currency that is recognized by Canadian government, but they allow people to trade and exchange Bitcoins or other cryptocurrencies, but they take it as barter deals. And the taxation remains same as they have for barter deals. So that's how India is discussing right now. So regulation is going to come around that part. But India is very clear on one thing, that will not have a second currency in India.
course, sir.
I
Thank you
hope
so
that
much for
helps.
sharing this. Yeah, sir. A lot, sir. Thanks so much.
Uh, so next is fundamental analysis of cryptocurrency. So I'll just briefly discuss about the points. So just like every stock has a particular sets of parameters that one should research before investing, cryptocurrencies also have some financial metrics that needs to be analyzed before investing in any coin. So so there are two so basically there are two categories. One first is project metrics that sees the qualitative factors of the cryptocurrencies, and the second one is financial metrics that takes into consideration the quantitative factors. So the first one is project metrics. So first is reading white paper. So the white paper is just like DRHP, the draft red herring prospectus. So it tells us, so the white paper tells us about so it tells us about all the aspects of the cryptocurrency, the entire project, and it tells us about the technology the project uses, the goals of the goals and the network, the goals of the networks, and it kind of tells us the road. It provides us the roadmap for the upgraded and new features added to the technology, to the project. The second one is team. So just like we do the research on management of companies, similarly we should verify the details and qualification of the team members, the management of who are behind this project. So whether they are expert in blockchain technology or not, if they have worked in this industry previously or not, so things like that. So the third is competitors. So we should try to find out and look out for the peers for the company. We should try to identify the projects it is competing with, and as well as the legacy it seeks to replace. Okay. So the third is tokenomics and its distribution. So tokenomics is basically formed with two terms. Token means coin, and economics. So it tells that it is essential to know how a project distributes the tokens, the coins. Okay, so it helps us to know the total supply in the market. For example, Bitcoin has a limited supply of 21 million, and 18.5 million Bitcoins are there in circulation. So the supply is high, supply is low and demand is high. So we can see the surge in the price of Bitcoin. So next is financial metrics, the quantitative aspects of the cryptocurrency. So it tells us the information about how the currency trades. So it tells us about the information about how the currency trades, and what is the liquidity and volume, and what is the market capitalization of the cryptocurrency. So the first one is market capitalization. Market capitalization tells us the net worth of the project. It shows us so it is calculated by multiplying the circulation value at 18.5 million in the case of Bitcoin by the current market price of the currency. So it helps us to figure out the growth, and tells us the so it helps us in figuring out the growth, and it helps us to know the value of the net worth of the crypto. So the coin. So the second is liquidity and volume. So just like equities, liquidity and volume of trading coin is very important. It tells us whether the coin is sellable. So whether I can sell the coin today at the current market price without any problem. So these were the these were the main important fundamental metrics that need to be taken into consideration while analyzing and investing in cryptocurrencies. I am done. Any questions? Atul sir, you can take over.
Sir, I wanted to ask something. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, Shikha.
Yes.
When you said that India won't allow it as a separate currency, I got confused that how, in what form then they are planning to uh, allow it or use it as a trading feature or something like commodities or something like that.
So it's like a token, virtual token. So like you buy, let's say, school fare tickets, right? And you exchange that ticket at any stall for something.
Okay.
It's not the currency. You're paid to buy it, but it's not the currency. But they're recognized as a currency to trade in the school fare, right?
Okay.
That's how it will be used. But you can't go and deposit that school fare ka slip in the bank. So you can't go and deposit your Bitcoin in the bank.
But in the premises of the fare, that ticket is used as currency.
Yes, and you can use it on any of the stalls that are accepting it.
Okay. So in particular environment or ecosystem, it can be treated as a kind of currency, but it would be bought with money,
Yes,
with
so
Indian currency.
yes, like your plastic cards, right? You
Okay.
have money in your bank, but you use plastic cards, swipe it, and money gets deducted. It's not real money, it's some virtual numbers in the bank. In the same manner, just simply assume that you'll have plastic cards or Bitcoins also.
Sir, if I may
And
add,
you
it will be like a chip in the casino.
yes, of course, why not?
Okay.
You can use that chip to buy anything. You can use that chip to trade or gamble. You
Within
can buy
the
drinks
casino.
using those chips also.
Within the casino.
Yeah, within the casino. Or outside casino, whoever is recognizing it. So maybe you go to Vegas and chip of one casino is acceptable in another casino also. It's like that.
Okay, sir.
That's how the Bitcoin is, or the cryptocurrencies are.
Okay.
And Atul
So
sir,
anyone
this
has
side,
done technical analysis?
Atul sir, Dipanshu, this side, sir, only the time cycle with the technical thing I want to ask. Whenever there is a fear in equity, like there was a 2008 crash, so people made the Satoshi Nakamoto made this Bitcoin. Now there was a fear of again crash in the COVID thing. Maybe crypto fell a bit, but after that, because people had fear in market of equity, they were moving towards this digital currency as an asset. So if we take the cycle, whenever there is a equity crash, it's better to move to crypto for a shorter time.
But Dipanshu, if you notice, if it has been falling along with the equity market crash. It fell in March, then it was again up in November, December. It again fell in March and April. So
That is because people who were having already that money there, they were liquefying their asset because they wanted the money. But whenever
so Dipanshu, that correlation has not matured yet. So I give you example. Last week when the cryptocurrency fell, it fell out of a window. He simply jumped out of the window and fell to the ground. All the big analysts in the world, they were saying now all the money will go into gold market. And that was not true. Next 3 days, gold also fell down. If all the money was moving into gold, it should have gone up. It did not. So these are all speculation. People are simply anticipating or hoping कि अगर क्रिप्टो में फॉल आया तो अब कहां जाने चाहिए. Everybody is taking their guess, but that correlation between crypto and other asset classes is still not mature.
Sir, I think the current fall is totally influenced by tweets.
But isn't that the worst part of it all, that one person or like 6 or 7 individuals in the world can control the entire world?
That's what I'm saying. That tweet only comes when the market is not stable of equity. मतलब market या तो equity की crash कर गई है, तब the Elon Musk will tweet, they are accepting Tesla on Bitcoin, and when markets are boom, then they tweet and crash the market.
वो it is slightly different actually this time than any other time. वो हिंदी मूवीज में बोलते हैं ना कि जब क्या तूफान आता है तो सबसे पहले चूहे शिप छोड़कर भागते हैं. So usually what used to happen in markets, if there is a rumor, if there is any kind of panic, then all the retail investors go out first because they feel worried or over worried, okay, that my money should not go anywhere. This is the first time institutions sold almost $100 million worth of Bitcoin last week. So this time retailers did not go out because the fall was so much, everybody was stunned. But institutional investors sold over $100 million worth of Bitcoins and they exited Bitcoins. And that is a big decision. If institutions are going out, that means they can see it not recovering in the near future. That's how I see it. See, retail investors can feel worried or panicky, but if institutions are selling things, that means now they're clear about this whole thing, that there is not much future in Bitcoins. So institutions going out is a serious issue, I see.
Sir, also the way I saw it, February say May that especially, it was basically one person who made a lot of money out of it. And then because it was unregulated, there was nobody to stop him from doing that. Morally, it might be wrong, it might be right to do whatever he wants, but then morals are subject to the money that you have in your pocket. So he just made money and he went away. And
but that's fine, Gagan. See, industries like this, they deserve it also, because they did not let US government or any government make any regulations around it. The whole industry put their foot down in US that we are not going to let anybody make any regulation around it. And then also people jumped into it. They knew there is no regulation around it. Still they invested in out of greed. They were going to suffer one day. So I'm actually not surprised.
And yes,
Boss,
one more thing.
Sorry, I was just going to say, आप वैसे सोच के देखिए, if there is no law in the world, what kind of world we are going to live in? It'll be very scary. Anybody can do anything and get away with that. That's what is happening in this market. So ऐसे आप खुद सोचिए, if you are planning to go for vacation also, forget about the permanent settlement. Even if you think about going for vacation with family to a different country and somebody tells you there is no regulation there, there is no law there, would you go and visit? Would you take chance? Very difficult. The only place people can go to is Thailand, right?
Hello, good evening, sir. I have a question, sir. Yeah, Dijesh here. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, very much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. My question is that the entire idea of Bitcoin lies in the underlying technology of blockchain, and blockchain itself is a decentralized technology. So even if government brings in any regulation or restriction, so blockchain itself is a decentralized. So how it gonna work?
So technology has nothing to do with the regulation. See, आज के time में, if we say, let's say, for example, the law is you cannot kill anyone. You think any technology can stop us from doing it? So technology only is providing a surety that your money is safe in this infrastructure. It is nothing beyond that. Point is, I still have to pay money from my own bank account to buy Bitcoins. That means government can see money has gone out of my account. The day I encash it, money will come back to my account. Government will see how much has come back. Government is simply asking me to pay tax, first of all.
All right, sir.
Right. So technology infrastructure and regulations, these are two different things. Blockchain is only providing a secure infrastructure. The way Ananya has explained, those blocks, when the information or the blocks gets distributed across the world with different miners and their infrastructure, the only thing it assures is that any change is not allowed once the block is created. You cannot make any change in the transaction which is done. That means it cannot be corrupted. Anybody stealing anything from any particular transaction, changing any record, it corrupts the whole blockchain. And it comes back to the original state. And that's the only thing it is providing, just the secure infrastructure. It's like all of us are using WhatsApp, and WhatsApp says end-to-end encryption nowadays, but it does not stop us from using abusive language, right? There, the government's regulation comes into picture that if there is anything abusive or maybe religiously not allowed or gender bias, if you put it on WhatsApp group, admin is responsible for it. That is a regulation from government. WhatsApp is only saying I'm providing you secure infrastructure. बस उतना ही difference है दिजेश. I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thanks.
Sir, can I ask questions, sir?
Ramesh sir, you should be asking Ananya. I was just sharing my views. Ananya is
Okay.
the lead presenter today.
Anyone can answer, sir, in the group also.
Yes, of course.
I just want to know that why not government is allowing or recognizing this currency? I mean, what is the hurdle between the government to recognize this as a making a currency this? And this
Well,
वो
isn't
जो
making a
commissions
ditch to
कमा
common
रहे
people.
होते हैं ना, वो नहीं मिलेगी उन्हें.
No, isn't it the ditching the people, common people? They are investing in money if they lose this money.
See, only government can answer it. Point is, if everybody start their own currency, it will be difficult for government to manage it. आज के time में government is not allowed to print money beyond a certain level. How will they then regulate all these things? Today is cryptocurrency. Tomorrow I start my own plastic cards and start using that. There are so many barter exchanges already in India that government is not able to regulate. It will become very, very difficult. It is that's the only thing I feel, that government will simply lose control on the currency. That's why they don't want to allow it. It's unmanageable. Nobody can trace it. Aapka money laundering and everything will become really, really easy for people to do. Transferring money out of India or getting into India, financing somebody which is not doing the legal thing, will become quite difficult.
So what's the solution, sir? Common people, we can, I mean, they can lose some money, they hard-earned money. If the government
Sir,
should ban this currency.
Okay, when you talk about trading in cryptocurrencies, then trading in cryptocurrencies is like trading in any other asset class. You can lose money, definitely. Once the countries start using cryptocurrency like our real currency for buying and selling stuff, then common man will not lose money. You can keep your Bitcoin and trade it for whatever you want, but that is not started. Everybody right now is doing trading. So maybe you are buying Indiabulls housing finance, suddenly it falls down by 10%. That's what is happening to Bitcoin also. When it comes to underlying asset, so somebody is writing there is no underlying asset. Yes, you're right. But when it comes to trading, if I say you have 10 Reliance share, then also you actually don't have anything. You can't do anything with 10 Reliance share. You can only trade it and get your money back, whatever the price is. You can't just go and claim your ownership in Reliance Industries. I mean, logically or theoretically, they say, yes, you are part owner. But what ownership right can you exercise? You can only vote during the annual meeting, nothing else.
Yes, and also, sir, government never asked you to invest in it. It was the greed that made you invest in it. So blaming the government on a stand that is consistent is wrong.
Absolutely, sir. I believe that. Government is trying to protect people from getting into these kind of schemes. But people's greed actually forces them to find some ways to do it still. And then they lose money. And then they start blaming regulations most of the time. Think about it. This whole currency was founded on criminal activities. People used to use it for ransomware so that it cannot be tracked from one country to another country. So जिसका foundation ही criminality था, उसको legally बनाना, उसका right use बनाना is going to be very, very difficult. So yes, the infrastructure, blockchain infrastructure is very, very secure. It's extremely secure. But that is just the infrastructure it is providing. Because if there were regulations, if US had some regulations around it, they would have put Elon Musk in jail by now. He has caused that kind of financial loss to so many investors. His statements, government would not allow him for free speech also after this, because his simple tweets can create this kind of havoc in financial industry, and he can change his words within a week or within a month's time. Just because there is no regulation, he can get away with this. I mean, that's what I feel. I'm also learning from Ananya, by the way.
Sir, but I was reading that India is planning to treat cryptocurrencies as an asset instead of treating it as a currency alternative.
So that's exactly what I was saying, Karan. India will not recognize it as a second currency. but they will recognize it as an asset class. You can trade into it. You can use it to trade into different things, but it will not be considered as a currency, like it's happening in Canada. They say for us as a government, it's a tool to do barter between two parties. It is not recognized as an alternate currency in Canada. So probably that's what they are also doing. So you're right. I mean, I have the same view.
So isn't that very similar to what the position is right now? There might be some slight regulations and tweaks, but exactly what the position is right now.
So there are no regulation as such. I mean, you can call a paper-based currency also a cryptocurrency. Nobody's actually challenging you. Crypto only means that you are securing that information in encrypted form. That is what the crypto means. So blockchain technology brings this name of crypto, and then you have currency. So it's up to you. What do you want to do with that? Honestly, there is no regulation around it. I mean, you and I can decide to deal in a certain, maybe plastic coins. Government cannot stop it. The only thing government will say, whatever deal you are doing, whatever exchange of value is happening, you'll have to pay tax on that. So if I, let's say, buy your legal services, let's say 20 or 30,000 rupees of worth, I give you some plastic coin and ask you to exchange it for TIC membership next year. So now 30,000 rupees got transacted 2 times. I paid you 30,000 rupees virtually. You paid it back to TIC. Both of us will have to pay tax. Government is only saying that. Nothing else, nothing beyond this.
That is exactly my point. That's exactly the status right now as well. Whatever we can barter things right now as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. So government is not stopping you from dealing in cryptocurrency right now. They are simply working towards creating a framework for regulation.
Maybe
right now they are simply saying don't call it as an alternate currency because that is illegal. You can't use it as a currency, but you can very well trade into it. The only thing you have to pay tax. अभी तक उतना ही है.
Tax तो अभी भी दे रहे हैं उसको तो सर. It's again.
सर वो भी लास्ट ईयर से ही शुरू है. उससे पहले लोग टैक्स भी नहीं दे रहे थे.
Yes.
So धीरे-धीरे करके I think regulation and some regulatory framework will come in force. अभी तो नहीं है.
In fact, once it is regulated, the black money that is pumped into it, जो अभी हो रहा था, people pay lakhs of lakhs in cash and take bitcoins through some measures, वो भी will get absorbed in the system and tax will also be paid on that also.
Something I think government will do. They are way smarter than all of us. So something will come up, I'm sure.
Sir, I mean, मतलब जैसे Bitcoin is only used for transactions, but there are other coins that have certain protocols behind them, certain systems behind them. जैसे Ethereum है, it has a complete network. So मतलब those companies are working towards something to make something. तो उनकी जो currencies में change, जो demand आ रही है, supply आ रही है, that is based on उनका protocol कैसा है, उनका वो system कैसा है.
See, technology सबके पीछे blockchain ही है. They're all using blockchain technology, and why they're using blockchain technology is because right now is the most secure thing. Even a lot of big banks, I mean, I'm talking about the biggest banks of the world. Now they are thinking of changing their technology infrastructure to blockchain very, very soon. All of them are working towards planning it. So blockchain as a technology, as a backend, all the Bitcoin companies are using the same thing. There is no change in that. Everybody has started their own currency, starting from some value. And
but
then
sir, each coin उसके पीछे जो उसका network है, it is very different. मतलब जैसे अगर Ethereum है, it is used to make decentralized apps, जो उसका network है, जो वो apps को जो monitor कर, जैसे Bitcoin में लोग currency transactions monitor करते हैं, वैसे Ethereum network पे जो apps development करने का transaction करते हैं, उनको Ethereum coin मिलता है, Ether coin मिलता है.
हाँ जी, वो digital content trading platform है in a way. Okay. So अभी इंडिया के अंदर भी few people are launching it in collaboration with Indian government only. You'll be able to sell even your tweets. You'll be able to sell your pictures also on that platform, and then you can use this digital currencies there. So it is going to start in India also.
Okay.
It's already happening. I think within this year you will see it in place. So all kind of digital assets. If you, let's say, design a logo for a company, after selling that to the company, because company is the owner of the logo, you can still put the design for a sale. the open file, so that people can play with it and people can design their own logos using the same design, basic design. So all kind of digital assets, unke liye there is an exchange coming. So Ethereum was like that initially.
Okay.
Atul sir,
Ji Kanwar ji.
sir, shall we invest or not?
नहीं यार, I mean, if you देखिए, I can't tell you about you, but I purely deal in stocks and I am quite happy with that, because वहाँ मेरे को मालूम है कि कोई एलन मस्क की तरह आके एक स्टेटमेंट पे 40% गिरा नहीं देता. I know how it works.
There is a two-way theory. Actually, अगर जो 2017 का केस था सुप्रीम कोर्ट का, वहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट का मेन स्टैंड वाज रिलेटेड टू टैक्स, where the सुप्रीम कोर्ट क्लैरिफाइड कि आप इसको एसेट क्लास बना दो, जो अभी चल रहा है सर.
जी.
सर अगर इसको स्टेबलाइज करते हैं, अगर हम सर बहुत सारे बैंक्स का पढ़े, इवन कोटक हैड ब्लॉकचेन इन्वेस्टमेंट स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 2009. Kotak was planning on this blockchain. Maybe sir, this regulation is in view of Indian banks getting into blockchain or something like that, maybe. But sir, एक बार ये stabilize हो जाएगा ना, तो सर I don't think फिर इस तरीके से move करेगा 30% एक दिन में ऊपर और नीचे.
Guys, blockchain and cryptocurrency, they are two different things. Blockchain is a technology which can be used by any large size company. They don't have to use cryptocurrency. So जो बैंक की भी transactions हैं, let's say आप जो कोटक की बात कर रहे हो या SBI की बात कर लें, they have thousands of branches across India, right? उस transaction network को secure करने के लिए all of them can migrate into blockchain technology. That has nothing to do with cryptocurrency.
Right.
So cryptocurrency is completely separate. Cryptocurrency is one of the customers of blockchain technology. That's it.
Right.
So unfortunately, I am not very lucky guy in speculation. So मैंने crypto में कभी ऐसे हाथ लगाया नहीं, because I was very sure crypto में लगाऊंगा तो positive नहीं आएगा, negative ही आएगा. So I deal in asset classes where I have found myself lucky in last 25 years, and stocks are fine for me. तो मैं वहाँ अगर ट्रेड करता हूँ तो ठीक ठाक रिटर्न आ जाता है. क्रिप्टो जैसी चीजें जहाँ 20, 25 या 50% या 400% एक साल में या 2 साल में बढ़ जाता है, आई एम नॉट दैट लकी. सो मैं डील ही नहीं करता उसमें, बिकॉज मुझे पता है मैं लगाऊंगा तो वो स्टॉक की तरह. कई मैंने वीडियोस देखे हैं कि जैसे ही मैं स्टॉक में पैसे लगाता हूँ वो गिरना शुरू हो जाता है, बेचता हूँ तो वो बढ़ना शुरू हो जाता है. आई एम श्योर दैट विल हैपन टू मी इफ आई पुट माय मनी इन क्रिप्टो. सो आई एम सेफ विद स्टॉक्स हियर. हर किसी का अपना वो है.
क्रिप्टो में रीजनिंग नहीं है. व्हाट इज द रीजन व्हाई इट्स ग्रोइंग और व्हाई इट्स फॉलिंग? उसका कोई रीजनिंग ही नहीं है क्लियर.
सर देखिए, इसका रीजनिंग वही है जो स्टॉक्स का है. स्टॉक्स के रिजल्ट भी 3 महीने में एक बार ही आते हैं, क्वार्टरली रिजल्ट. अब उसके फंडामेंटल तो रोज चेंज होते नहीं है. अगर आज रिजल्ट आ गया कंपनी का, आज जो प्राइस होना था उसके रिजल्ट पे आ जाएगा. अब वो 3 महीने तक फिर भी ऊपर नीचे क्यों होता रहता है? बिकॉज पीपल कीप गेसिंग थिंग्स कि अभी ऊपर जाएगा कि नीचे जाएगा. किसका टारगेट पूरा हो गया वो बाहर हो जाता है, किसको नजर आ रहा है अभी के बढ़ेगा वो एंटर हो जाता है. सो क्रिप्टो का भी हाल ही है, वहां कोई क्वार्टरली रिजल्ट नहीं है. दैट इज द ओनली डिफरेंस. बट पीपल कीप स्पेकुलेटिंग कि क्या होगा इसका.
टेक्निकल इंडिकेटर्स वर्क करने चाहिए सर, अगर इस तरीके से डिमांड सप्लाई की वजह से.
Yes,
absolutely.
It matters, sir. I think there was a head and shoulder in crypto during this crash, and if somebody follow technical analysis, he can see that pattern making. And when it pattern broke, it actually coincided with the tweets only. I don't know how it coincided, but pattern actually worked there. I mean, the pattern was there. I mean,
Yes,
so in
you're
daily
right.
chart, if you see, there is a pattern called head and shoulder, and it was a very big pattern. And the same time it broke the neckline, tweets came. I don't know how does it come. Maybe they are watching also this head and shoulder.
Dipanshu sir, the whole world is doing what you are doing. They are watching it all the time, because especially in crypto or in forex, these futures are getting traded, and they are only getting traded on the basis of these indicators only. People otherwise can't make head or tail of this. This is the only thing they can do. So everybody is watching what you are watching. They are also watching the same levels that you are watching.
Yes,
and that's
sir.
what it is. That's why everybody is taking the same action at the same time, whatever happens.
And that's why it was a very major fall, I guess, because technically it was weak. Tweets were there. The sentiments of
Yes.
people were so negative that okay, नहीं अभी तो यहाँ से निकलना है. And market was like, you know, थोड़ा सा ऊपर जाती हूँ मैं.
Okay. I also feel that was the only thing which was playing here. और कुछ है नहीं इसमें.
But sir, इतना major fall आया तो we can expect some V-shaped recovery.
So sir, मेरे हिसाब से जो मैंने अपना एनालिसिस करके देखा है, Bitcoin especially at least, so Bitcoin should stay down for next 2 days, and then from 24th, that is Monday actually, Monday it should start going up. And again, that's my personal understanding of the technicals here. People who could not exit this time, they will all start exiting after 10 days. Once it goes up at least by 10 or 15% again. Because the fall was so sudden, many people were simply shocked. They could not believe it. They could not exit. So this time, as soon as it goes up by 10% also, you'll see another fall. Then the next level of exit will start. I mean, that's what I think.
Okay, sir.
बाकी तो अगले 2 दिन देख लेते हैं कहाँ जाता है, बिकॉज मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग के हिसाब से 2 दिन नीचे जाने के बाद, मतलब मंडे के बाद, it should start going up for at least 7 or 8 or 10 days. जितने लोग अभी बात कर रहे हैं मार्केट के अंदर, who could not buy it earlier, they'll probably all of them will enter at this point of time, because many analysts are, I personally believe, they are forced to say कि अभी तो इसका bottom आ गया है. Nobody knows where the bottom is.
Right, sir.
The kind of rise you have seen, the steep rise you have seen in Bitcoins, there is no support. It was very steep, so the fall was going to be very steep anyway. But then again, the greed will play next 2 or 3 days, and many people will enter at this stage. कि अभी 38,000 पे चल रहा है तो अभी खरीद लेते हैं. It may take it to maybe 40,000-45,000 again, and then the second level of exit will start. So I'm looking at that currently.
I was just going to say this. हम 38 लोगों में वो greed देख सकते हैं कि हमें वो levels दिख रहे हैं गिरे हुए, and we are thinking of entering. So definitely tomorrow or Monday we can see that entry point and that rise.
Right. आप सही कह रहे हो.
नहीं गगन, I'm holding Bitcoin from long time. Not Bitcoin, actually one of the altcoin I'm holding from 2018.
सर मैंने 2017 में लेके 80% फॉल देखकर फिर वापस उसको 100% राइज पे बेचा भी है सर. तो वो but there is no science or logic to it.
Yes, this is.
Perfect, guys. Thank you very much, Ananya. If nothing else, I'm going to log off. So, thanks everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.